What is a dealer floor plan? A dealer floor plan is a loan for the vehicles on your lot, or what we sometimes refer to as your floor. And I'm going to explain what a dealer floor plan is and how you can obtain a dealer floor plan right now. A dealer floor plan. A dealer floor plan is a loan for your vehicle inventory. It is a plan to finance the vehicles on your floor. Simply put, a dealer floor plan is a line of credit extended to a dealership by a financial institution or a lender specifically for purchasing inventory to resell. And this arrangement allows dealerships to obtain vehicles from dealer auctions or other places and put them on display in your showroom or on your lot. And rather than paying for each vehicle up front, which could severely strain your liquidity, dealers can borrow against the floor plan to acquire cars and trucks to resell. A floor plan is basically like a revolving line of credit. Your bank or floor plan provider may give you a $50,000 or $100,000 or even $1 million floor plan, although I recommend starting with a small floor plan of around $10,000 to $20,000. After you obtain a floor plan, you may then purchase your inventory with your floor plan, and when you sell a vehicle, your bank will require that you pay off the portion of the loan that was used to purchase that specific vehicle. For example, let's say you purchase a vehicle at an auction for $5,000 and then sell the vehicle the following week for $7,500. The bank would require you pay the $5,000 plus interest on your floor plan while you keep the $2,500 profit. A floor plan provider will charge you a certain amount of monthly interest for your unpaid balance every month. So please do keep this in mind. A floor plan is very similar to a credit card. So let's say you carry an average balance of $25,000 on your floor plan, your bank is going to require interest payments every single month. Most dealer auctions also have a type of floor plan that they'll offer you when you obtain your dealer's license. Manheim dealer auctions have a floor plan program called Manheim Financial Services, and this is basically a revolving line of credit that you can use at Manheim dealer auctions to provide financing for the vehicles you purchase at those dealer auctions. You can purchase your cars at Manheim, then Manheim will advance you the total amount needed to pay for the vehicles so you can immediately take them back to your lot to resell them. So how does it work? Your initial purchase. When a dealership decides to purchase initial inventory when you're getting started, or when you decide to expand your inventory, you can apply for a floor plan. Once approved, your floor plan provider provides a line of credit based on your credit worthiness and the projected value of your inventory. Inventory acquisition. With the approved credit line, you can start purchasing inventory, usually from a dealer auction. These vehicles are then added to your inventory for sale to customers. Interest and repayment options. There are two important components to be aware of when you are repaying the loan for the vehicles that you've purchased. Whenever you sell a specific vehicle, the floor plan provider will normally require you pay down your floor plan balance by however much debt was on the floor plan for that specific vehicle. For example, let's say you purchased a vehicle at a dealer auction for $5,000 and sold it for $99.95. The floor plan provider would expect you to pay $5,000 on your floor plan. Most floor plan providers will require you pay a certain amount every month, even if you did not sell any vehicles. So this is something that you want to be very aware of. Now, I'm assuming it will be pretty rare when you go several months without selling any vehicles, but you must be advised that you're going to have to make minimum payments every month, just like a credit card. So no matter what, you've got to pay the interest on the outstanding balance of the floor plan, typically every single month. As vehicles are sold, dealers repay the principal borrowed for those units, freeing up credit to purchase new inventory. Benefits of a dealer floor plan. Improved cash flow. Dealerships can conserve their cash reserves for operational expenses like payroll, marketing, facility maintenance, instead of tying up all of your funds in your vehicle inventory. Flexible inventory management. The revolving nature of a dealer floor plan does allow dealers to adjust their inventory mix quickly in response to market demands and sales trends. It also supports growth. Access to a floor plan can facilitate dealership expansion by enabling the acquisition of larger volumes of inventory without significant upfront costs. Now, here are considerations for your floor plan. Interest costs. Dealerships must manage interest expense, which can fluctuate based on market conditions and the terms of your floor plan. Inventory risk. Holding on to inventory for extended periods can lead to depreciation and potentially higher costs if vehicles do not sell as quickly or as anticipated. Lender relationships. Maintaining positive relationships with lenders is essential as dealerships rely heavily on their financial partners for ongoing inventory support. So, what are the risks of a floor plan? One of my best bits of advice for you regarding floor plans is to be very careful. More than once, I have trained somebody just like you to obtain their dealer's license, and I've driven by their location a few weeks later, and I'll see 40 or 50 cars on the lot with salespersons running around, balloons flying all over the place, for sale flags flapping in the wind, streamers from the roof to the light poles, etc. And then I'll drive by a week later, and that lot is empty, and the building is for lease. There is usually only one reason for this. That dealer was not able to pay their floor plan. This is the main reason I see dealerships fail. I want to repeat that. The main reason in all my years in this industry that I see a dealership fail is because they got into too much debt. This is the type of business that you can run for many, many years. There will always be a demand for certain types of businesses, such as barber and beauty shops, businesses that mow lawns, daycare, funeral homes, and car dealerships. There will always be a need for these types of businesses, so they are proven to be successful on a very long-term basis. And when any one of these businesses fail, it's more than likely they incurred too much debt. Be very, very careful of floor plans. Floor plans kill dealers every day. Floor plans have put countless dealers out of business. The biggest problem is the interest that you must pay every month on a large floor plan can end up being much larger than what you can expect. You might have a couple of slow months, which could lead to you not being able to make the payments, which could lead to your entire inventory being repossessed by your floor plan company. When you get into the dealer auctions, you're going to see newly licensed dealers that give top dollar for numerous cars at their first auctions, and then you never see that person at that dealer auction again. And when the dealer auction is providing a floor plan themselves, they have nothing to lose. And what I mean by this, if you acquire a floor plan directly through the dealer auction and buy vehicles at that dealer auction and do not make your payments, the dealer auction can just repossess those vehicles on your lot, then take them back to the dealer auction, then sell them the next week to the next newly licensed dealer that's getting their first floor plan. And nothing against dealer auctions, but the dealer auctions have absolutely nothing to lose by providing you a floor plan. So I want to make sure that you're very, very aware that you've got to be able to pay that interest, and dealer floor plans can kill a dealer. So my best advice to any person getting into this business for the first time is to start small. Start very small. You might want to get, say, for example, maybe you want to get a $25,000 floor plan, which would allow you to purchase 7 or 8 cars or vehicles for around $3,000 a piece. When you begin selling your vehicles for the first time on a floor plan, you might sell the vehicles for a smaller profit and pay down your balance as soon as possible. And this is going to give you additional credibility with your floor plan provider. So when you request a larger floor plan, you'll hopefully be quickly approved. Once you become established, you may want to apply for a larger floor plan and seek higher profits on each vehicle at that time. Always be prepared to make payments on your floor plan, even if you've not sold any vehicles in a specific month. You should try and have at least 6 months of minimum floor plan payments on hand in cash so you can still make your payments if you have an extended sales drought with 0 sales, which I don't expect, but you've always got to plan for the worst. I'm not trying to scare you or discourage you from obtaining a floor plan, but always keep your floor plan manageable. So where can you get a floor plan? The main floor plan providers are going to be banks, dealer auctions, floor plan lenders, and private investors. Some banks are not keen on floor plans, and there may be some additional red tape when you get a bank floor plan. Now, maybe this would not be the case for you and your bank, but banks tend to send representatives to your lot on a regular basis to do research on which vehicles you have sold and which vehicles have not been sold. They may come by every couple of weeks or every month or so to check out your inventory and the inventory that has been sold. So it's been my personal experience that a bank is not always the best place to obtain a floor plan, but that may not be the case for you depending on the relationship that you have with your bank. A dealer auction is a great place to get a floor plan, as I stated earlier. A dealer auction tends to approve a larger floor plan amount since it's easier for them to reacquire the vehicles from the dealer that's not paying on that floor plan and just sell them in next week's dealer auction. Because of this, dealer auctions tend to approve higher amounts of floor plans, even for someone getting a dealer's license for the very first time. Another great way to obtain a floor plan is through a company that specializes in providing floor plans, which we will discuss further in just a few moments. There can be some opportunities with private investors as well. Using a private investor is not the norm and tends to be not nearly as common as, say, for example, a dealer auction or floor plan lender, but you might have a private investor that wants to give you a loan for your inventory. So where do you get a floor plan? You might go to Google or Bing or Yahoo, whatever search engine you use, and type in floor plan providers. You're then going to find numerous companies that will provide financing for your inventory. Let's go ahead and click on the one here that says Next Gear Capital. And here on the Next Gear Capital site, the first thing you'll see is that they are affiliated with Cox Automotive. Cox Automotive is the parent company of Kelley Blue Book, Autotrader.com, and Manheim. That's right. Cox Automotive owns Manheim Dealer Auctions, so you can see how some floor plan companies are tied in directly with the dealer auction, even if the actual dealer auction is not providing the floor plan themselves. As you can see, this company will provide floor plans to dealers that have been in business for 6 months or less, which might be for you. As you can also see here, you can be approved for up to $100,000, which I would never recommend starting out. As stated earlier, I always recommend starting with a much smaller amount, learn the business, and then maybe consider a larger floor plan when you have sold several vehicles and you're ready to expand. Most floor plan companies will have an app or a portal on their website like this one to use so you can track the amount you owe and also make your payments on your floor plan directly on your app or the floor plan provider's website. Some floor plan providers will allow you to do what is known as flexing. That would require that you only pay when the specific vehicle you floored has been sold. Now, there are some terms and conditions to any floor plan providers, and flexing will allow you a longer period of time to pay on the loan. Most floor plan providers require you have been a customer for a certain period of time before they will allow you to flex your vehicles. Flexing enables you to extend the loan period and pay for each additional vehicle only after it has been sold. Here's another service some floor plan providers offer. They will pay off the loan and obtain the lien release for you when the customer trades in a vehicle that they owe money. And this can be very, very helpful for you as well. Here's another floor plan provider known as Westlake Financial. Here's one known as Ally. Here's another popular floor plan provider known as AFC. And here's one called First Business Bank. So as you can see, there are a lot of floor plan options that you can choose once you obtain your dealer's license. And as I stated earlier, I always recommend to keep your debt low. I don't want to discourage you from getting a floor plan, but you will probably be able to easily get a floor plan in the amount of $100,000 or more. Most floor plan companies and many dealer auctions will allow you to obtain a large floor plan the very first time you walk into that dealer auction door or apply to the lender. Before we conclude this unit, I want to share a very quick story with you. When I first obtained my dealer's license many, many years ago, I went into my first dealer auction. They welcomed me with open arms, just like they're going to do you. They showed me around, they offered me some coffee and donuts, and then they walked me straight into this room and offered me a $250,000 floor plan on the spot. I just had to provide a little bit of financial information. I would never, ever recommend starting your new business with a $250,000 floor plan. So what I did instead, my wife worked at a bank, and I did obtain a $25,000 floor plan from my local bank. I started selling vehicles, and things were going good, so I decided to increase my floor plan to $50,000. But then I made a goal to pay off my floor plan as soon as possible, and I was able to pay off my floor plan completely within about 6 months of opening my dealership, and I was able to operate with what was known as a cash inventory. Having a cash inventory will always assure you keep the most amount of money in your pocket as possible because you are never paying floor plan interest or fees. And on a side note, if you continue to invest your profits into paying cash for more vehicles, you sell, then you can end up with a substantial amount of vehicles in your inventory that are paid off with no debt on those vehicles. And I know more than one dealer that has operated for many, many years on a cash basis, acquired very large numbers of vehicles that were paid for, and then they decided to retire, and they'll sell their entire inventory for 6 figures or 7 figures, and then they'll retire. This is a very cool business that you're getting ready to open and can definitely lead to financial prosperity for you and your family.